Hey guys. Ah, my camera fell. But I found this really pretty place. There's all this wonderful succulents. The orange and green and yellow is really pretty. There's also kind of dying plants, I guess, in between it, but it's kind of pretty. Just the dichotomy between life and death, right there on the ground. This is a really pretty area. It's really nice. The sun and the bushes. This life is really interesting. I don't understand it. The power of suggestion. The power of repeating something over and over again until you do it. How easily the world throws those thoughts into our brain, whether it be through people, and just wondering, spiritually, with stuff, how people can know what you're struggling with, even though you may have not even told anyone about it, and realizing how deep this world really goes, and how trippy everything is. Me trying to figure out what all this stuff means. I mean, I know everywhere, when you look at the world in accordance to God's word, everywhere is evil. Everywhere has sin in it. But, same time, I just want to have that zen, the peace. I don't want to worry or think about that. But it's kind of hard to not see it when it's during the day, your day. For me, it was really intense this entire week, where I was really aware of everything that people say to me. I was really aware of just what is getting poked at emotionally at me, what lessons am I trying to learn, and realizing how intense it got. At first I was just it wasn't really getting to me, because I was it's not that serious. But then it got to a point where the emotions really just took over, and I really got hit on, and it just seems it's getting harder and harder, and how challenging it is. And it's kind of I did have a prayer. I prayed I wanted to be more like Jesus. I wanted to understand how he sees the world more, and just what he experienced. And also I wanted to be more like Paul and not be afraid of death. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of dying, which I'm grateful for anymore. But accepting that I'm not righteous. There's no one righteous but Jesus. And accepting that I'm imperfect, and that other people around me are also imperfect. That's also a challenge in me, where it's trying to just accept that I'm not going to reach, of course I'm not going to be Jesus. I'm not a God. I'm not any of those things. And that's good. I'm glad, we're on this earth to share the gospel. We're on this earth to share truth. We're on this earth to do our job. Do the job that you're supposed to do, that you're called to do, and do it right. And so it's the thing is that I noticed too is that people look, I'm representing Jesus, and yeah, I sin because I'm human. I don't have the new body that God promised. I don't have the new, he makes us new in spirit, but still we have this body of flesh that still leads us into sin and temptation. And as Paul says, I don't do what I want to do. I do what I don't want to do, and like just like how it's such a struggle. I hope you guys can hear me well. I didn't bring my mic as usual. And it was really nice. I'm trying to start this thing. I just took a bunch of photos of people this week, and really grateful about it. I'm taking photos so I can draw these people and draw like what symbolizes them, what symbol represents them, and really just like connecting to people again. I really like that. I really just needed a break today from people. I was just feeling overwhelmed because I was getting attacked a lot, and I don't like getting attacked, but I know that being attacked, being persecuted is actually a blessing, because Jesus says that people in this world, they will hate you as they have hated him. That's a pretty tree over there. I like going into nature because it's like, although this world, sin has seeped into it, still God designed it initially. And so looking at nature, it's being close to God. Nature is being close to God. Nature is seeing the design of God. Because he created it. My favorite song is So Will I by, So Will I. You just look it up. Although, I don't like that Church Hill song. I mean, everywhere is fallen. Everywhere is imperfect, but they're really seeping in occultic things into their church. But I do really like that song they made, because it represents how much I don't love the world, but I love God's creation. People, I love drawing people. I love being around his creation. It's healing, it's eye-opening, and it brings so much peace to me. I think the hardest thing about struggling with, I feel like I've gotten healed from it, but struggling with the concepts of schizophrenia, I think it's it's kind of weird. I think it's more so, I wasn't struggling with that. It was more so like a spiritual attack, spiritual delusion, that I'm just really in tune with the spirituality of this world and what goes on underneath the veil. Because it's interesting, it's things I haven't really told anyone. People, strangers will pop up and say little things here and there. And I'm just where do they get that information when it's only been a thought? And as God says, people do not know what they do. God, please forgive them. Forsake them. Not forsake them, but they do not know what they do. And it's when you really get close to Jesus, you start realizing how much of it is God's word is true. It really is. Your eyes become open instead of your eyes being shut, because a lot of people are blinded by the great delusion that God has put upon them. Because you find your love and joy in something else versus your love and joy in who he is.